Hey guys, it's Enwa and welcome to the 10th episode of the Batcave Project. We have finally made it to double digits in this series and we are nearly there. We haven't completed it yet, but we're nearly there. Now, last episode, we built the Batwing, which over time, I'm liking it. And we've got this structure that goes all the way to the top as well to kind of simulate it leaving. You know, it's got an area for it to leave. So, that is done. This is kind of the entirety of the Batcave like structure type done. So we will be moving on today to the environment and the terraforming. Now we've done terraforming before, however it hasn't been in depth. I've only done small little things like this and that's pretty much it. As well as a lot of slabs. Slabs everywhere. So, today, it is time to finally deal with this massive hole in the ground. And this will be a massive lake with loads of waterfalls, a bunch of, not colour, but a lot of different patterns, a lot of different stones. It's just time to make this Batcave, bring it to life. Now, another thing as well, I have gone onto this world and have taken the shaders off to have another look and a different perspective of the Batcave. Because the entire time I've been playing it with shaders. And although this is my preferred way to play, it's also important to bear in mind that, you know, sometimes people don't have shaders. And I still wanted to see what it looked like regardless. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. Quick warning, you're going to be flashbanged. But that's just Minecraft. Okay, let me show you what it looks like. And here we go. It is crazy to look at. And I can't fathom how bright it is in here. Now bearing in mind, there are a ton of torches down here. These are the only torches that we have in the Batcave as well as the other side. So these will be removed, so it will be a lot darker here. And also, this beacon will end up going at some point. I mean, I don't even know why it's here, but I might as well keep it because, well, we're sorting this area out. But if I turn behind me, you can see it's still very bright. Now, you have to bear in mind, this is survival Minecraft. Minecraft has rules that trigger certain outcomes, such as the lighting levels, which I've mentioned previously. So, unfortunately, we can't change that. Unless I put carpets everywhere, but I want this Batcave to be a little bit lively. You know, these massive carpets are here just to get rid of that 6 lighting level that I struggled to get rid of. But regardless, as you can see, it is very bright and very grey. Now, that was my main reason why I wanted to do it with stone, because the structures and the platforms are very dark blocks, as well as the Batmobile and the Batwing and then the road as well. It's a very dark colour. So there is a massive contrast, which I like. However, I think it would be good for us to add this kind of textured blocks in that doesn't completely take away from what it is, but just give it a little bit more life and a little bit more pattern, really. So what I've done is I have gotten some blocks. So we've got loads of cobblestone and some gravel, andesite, stone, tough blocks. I've gotten some coral blocks, which I think I might need some more because I like the look of dead coral and I know it blends in really well. We've got some dripstone blocks, which I think we'll definitely need more of at some point. Normal coral, you know, blocks, fans, whatever. Water buckets, moss, some mud, and a lot of dirt. Now, the dirt isn't going to be used for the Batcave. It will be used for this area here. Now, let me turn back the shaders on and let's talk about what's going to happen. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is with this bottom part of this cave, and as well as like the walls around it, I want to add in some textures such as cobblestone, you know, all those blocks I just showed you. I want to add them in and just add a little bit of a little bit more depth into this area. I want it to be really empty. Once that is done, We will then cover this entire level here across this blue line with dirt, and then we will add in the water afterwards. And then we will basically remove all the wall, remove all the dirt, and then that will cause all the water to go down, and then it will completely waterlog everything that is in there. So I've also had a test with dripstones. So dripstones can be waterlogged too, which will be really nice. So it's just to add that little bit there. And then I kind of want to start slowly building it up, kind of making a gradient around here, because I still want it to be primarily stone. But at the same time, again, like I've said, I don't want it to be completely stone and completely boring and a completely blank canvas when we've got all these good blocks that can be used. So, with that in mind, I have definitely gotten some more blocks as well as used, you know, the ones that we've had before. And I'm going to start making some patterns in here. Now, I've got some in mind, but I haven't done too much in depth at the moment. So we're going to just kind of ball it and see how it goes. So I'm going to start patterning it around, making it look cool. And then we'll catch up and see where we're at. So the bottom of the lake is complete, and as you may have seen in the time lapse, I tried to follow just like a little tiny pattern of these cobblestone circles with some tuff breaking it up and adding a tiny bit of colour using some mossy cobble. This has also been done in the smaller lake at the top, although it's a little bit more dense due to how shallow it's going to be, so you'll be able to actually see more of the pattern than this massive pool of water here. So now that is complete, I started to create some gradient designs into a different world that is basically a clone of this one. And I just wanted to see what I could experiment with the walls, because like I've said multiple times, although I love it being just plain stone, I want to add a little bit more colouring and some textures into the walls. So I had a little experiment with some different blocks, and I'll show you these different designs on the screen now. So I started off going with deep slate and a cobble deep slate. Then that would be very dense at the bottom. Then it will go into tough blocks, then to cobble, and then to stone. Now, I put some water in a little corner with that gradient, and you don't even see the deep slate. So I thought, okay, we're going to remove the deep slate and let's just do some tough blocks with some cobblestone, and pretty much again like a scattered pattern like this. Although it looked, you know, there was an improvement, it still didn't look great. And then my final gradient design was using dripstone blocks, cobblestone, and dead coral. Now, this was kind of like a scattered kind of pattern, however, I tried to make it very liney. Don't know how, like, if that's the right word to describe it. So I used a lot of lines and didn't try to make it as messy as I would want to. And this turned out to be a lot better than I actually thought, and that's the kind of pattern we're going to go with. So all this section down here that will be underwater will have just tuff and some dripstone and maybe a little bit of cobble as well, just to break it up. And of course there'll be stone as well dotted around, but primarily those blocks there. And then as it goes around, it would just be again cobblestone and coral. So that's kind of the plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to demonstrate what it's going to look like. Although you've seen the pictures, I just want to show you what it'll be like in game. So I've got some dripstone blocks here, so I'll just grab these ones left. I will need to get some more. And then we're going to get some stone blocks just to have on me just in case. Some tough blocks and some cobblestone. So there we go. We've got all the right blocks that we need. So we're going to go head on over to this area here. And I'm going to primarily use the tough and the dripstone blocks for now. And basically just make this kind of lined up like this. Make it look a little bit stripy, add a little few blocks on the side, and just basically do this around the area. Then I want to go over with my tough blocks and basically do the same, but leaving a few more gaps as well, because I want to add some cobblestone in eventually. So this can pop in like that. And this is just kind of the pattern and design that it will be. Then I'm going to get some cobblestone and not make it completely like lines, but just a little bit more tinier. And then overall it will expand once we get higher up. Like so. Then I still need to get some more coral blocks because I have been having such bad luck trying to find a good place, a good ocean of water, so I need to go yet again on another journey to find some more. And then once this is done, we will then do the same kind of pattern here, but with cobblestone and dead coral, and that will then ricochet all the way across over this entire cave, which will take a very long time. So I'm going to get some more blocks that we need, and I probably will do another time lapse. It won't be completely everything, of course, because this is a big place. And then we can have a chat and see where we're at. Okay, here's a little progress check of what's happened so far. So all the bottom parts of like the tuff and the dripstone has been done in this big lake. And then as time has gone, as you can see by the scaffolding, I'm starting to put in the dead coral and the cobblestone in. And I will admit, it took a long time to try and find a bunch of like coral biomes, because out of all the coral blocks, the yellow one just seems to be a little bit more fitting and not entirely close to the appearance of cobblestone, but different enough that it's unique and it kind of looks a bit more softer, if that makes sense. So I've got loads of yellow coral, and I did just get some more different ones just in case. And I've also went to one of the dripstone caves that were nearby and literally just tried to get as much as I can. The terrain generation is very weird when it comes to dripstone biomes, but regardless, we move. And then I've also got a bunch of different things as well. So there is some progress being made. It is going to take so long, but as you may see here, it goes all the way to the top, so you can see some coral and some cobblestone going all the way to the top. I'm not going to cover the roof, ceiling, top of the cave yet. I just want to focus entirely onto the walls today, but I think I want to try and get this part done first, and then we can get in the water. I think this might actually be a 2-episode thing because it is such a big project. A project within a project. So I'm going to keep cracking on, getting the rest of this coral and cobblestone done. I'm probably going to cut it off maybe up to this side here, and then probably to here. So it's been a few days, and you may be wondering why I'm in my potion room, and I want to show you the progress that has been done, although it's way too dark to show you. So I've made some night vision potions with some golden carrots and some redstone dust. So I'm going to bring this downstairs with me, and I'm just going to show you what we've managed to do. So as you can see, I've managed to go all the way across from this side, all the way to the other. And it has been so long. I cannot stress it enough. It's taken so long. And then I forgot about this part here too, so I had to do this as well. But as you can see now, this entire section is actually done. I'm liking it. It looks good and I'm happy about it. So it is time to get out the dirt and cover the entire area. I might even use some netherrack as well if we run out, and then fill it up with water. But it's just, I never knew that I could do something like this before. It looks awesome. There's just so much detail into it, and it's brilliant. I'm really happy about it, and I think the lines go so well rather than it just being scattered everywhere. I think there's just a little bit more character to it, if that makes sense. So just wanted to show you what it looked like. I've just wasted a 6-minute potion, so you're welcome. But hopefully that could show in the time lapse. But now it is time to cover the entire area with dirt and then fill it up in water. So there we go. Let's get cracking. Another time lapse. Let's go. This cave lake has been completed and it looks so cool. So I hope you're ready to see. It will be a little bit dark, but I've got one more night vision potion for this reason. So have a look at this very dingy and dark cave lake, and you can see some of the dripstone and the tuff coming through, and I've popped in, as you can see, there's some sea pickles and a few little sections of seagrass going all the way around in this little area. However, you may have seen in the time lapse that glow squids are continuing to spawn, and luckily there's none right now, but it does happen. So I am going to leave this up to the viewers to decide whether I use these axolotls that I've gotten from the lush cave further into this cave for them to just roam around in here and then kill them, or just leave the glow squids and just let them do what they want to do. It's just because, right, the way that they generate and spawn in, they spawn in like big clumps or on their own, and then they kind of just are really static in that particular area. Unless the player is obviously in the area quite close to them. So it is kind of like a iffy kind of decision. So I'm just going to leave it for now and wait till next episode. So if I drink this potion, you can see what it looks like now that the water's been put in. And I really should have done the top of the cave, but I didn't. So I'm going to be leaving that for out of the video, and then when next episode we will continue to add texturing all the way across. So as you can see, I've started doing it here and slowly adding it across here. So there we have it. That is the massive lake done. Next episode, like I said, we're going to continue texturing everything. We're also going to do this small lake up here, which shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, we've got loads of resources that we need, and I've kept the water source there, so we can crack on with this next time. And then after that, we can start adding some more environmental details, such as waterfalls, and seeing what else we can do. Maybe some like other caverns, or maybe some old rustic, buildings, such as like tunnels and not really sewage. I don't really want to have a sewage system in here, but some bridges or anything like that that is very familiar to the Batman universe, especially underground. So there we have it, guys. Please let me know what you think. I am so chuffed. It looks so cool. And I really didn't think it was needed until I started doing it, and it just looks amazing. So I've only done this section, as you can see, and then we'll further crack on with more of it in the next episode. So yeah, there we have it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye!